Hello, welcome back to Learn Oikonomia. In this video, we are going to look at the Coase Theorem. If property rights over the environment are clearly defined and bargaining among the owners and prospective users is allowed, the efficient level of affluence will result irrespective of who has initially got the property right. This is what is illustrated by the famous Coase Theorem, which is named after the famous economist Ronald H. Coase. So with that, let's move on to the theorem. It's very important to assume certain things if you go to this Coase theorem. You have to assume a world in which some producers and consumers are subjected to externalities which are generated by other producers as well as consumers. So you have to assume that everyone in the economy has got perfect information. Consumers and producers are price takers. That means some sort of a perfect competition working on, and there is costless court system for enforcing agreements. That means that you need not incur some legal cost if you going for a court-based system. Then consumers maximize their utility and all producers maximize their profit, and there is no excess income or wealth effects. Okay. And also you have to understand that we have to assume no transaction cost while taking into consideration the Coase theorem. In this scenario, the initial assignment of property rights regulating externalities does not matter for efficiency. If any of these conditions are not whole or any of these conditions are not taken into consideration, the initial assignment of rights does not matter here. Thus, we could say that in Coase theorem, the optimal environmental allocation is independent of the distribution of property rights. The wider implication of this theorem is that by defining private property rights, conditions by which decentralized bargaining produce efficient results of environmental quality can be defined. This has got some appeal. The advantage is that people doing the bargaining, they might know that they might know more about the relative values involved. For example, we are concerned with the abatement cost as well as damages. So these people who are involved in bargaining, these people rather than anybody else, they will know more about these kinds of values such as abatement cost, damages, etc. So some people would hope that the true efficiency point will be arrived at if you are going for this particular aspect. Okay. Also, because it would be decentralized system, there would be no need for central bureaucratic organization making decisions that are based mostly on political consideration instead of true economic values which are involved in this kind of bargaining. Ideas like all these kinds of things will have lead people to recommend widespread conversion of natural and environmental resources to private ownership as a means of achieving their efficient use. We have to go through certain conditions in the sense that we have to understand the practical case. In practice, we know that for property rights approach to work, right, certain prerequisites need to be fulfilled. Okay. So these prerequisites can be grouped mainly under 4 headings. Like first of all, we have to consider the property rights must be well defined. It should be enforceable. It should be transferable. Then we have to understand that transaction cost should be placed at the minimum, and there must be reasonably efficient and competitive system for interested parties to come together and negotiate about how their environmental property rights would be used. And there must be a complete set of markets so that the private owners could capture all the social values which are associated with the use of the environmental asset which we are looking into. If firm A cannot keep firm B from doing whatever the firm B wishes, of course a property rights approach would not work. Or you could say that owners must be physically and legally able to stop others from encroaching onto their property. Owners must be able to sell their property to any would-be buyer. So in the future there can be chances that the present owner would be selling the property to some other person, right? So the ownership would change. And this is especially important when you are going for valuation of environmental assets. If owners cannot sell their property, this would weaken their incentive to preserve its long-term productivity. That means that whenever you keep a property with you, whenever you hold a property or whenever you own a property, you are expecting that if you want to sell this property in the future, you can do that. Otherwise, it would be reducing the value of the property. You are out of the expectation that if you need some money in the future, you can sell this property in the market and you could get the money. But if you are not able to sell the property in the future, or if you are expecting that you are not able to sell the property in the future, that means that this would reduce the value of the this would reduce the current value of the property that you are owning or you are holding. This is because any use that does draw down its own long-run environmental productivity cannot be punished through the reduced market value of the asset. So this is the main reason why different economists have argued that this kind of system is particularly considered to be a strong problem, especially in the developing economies, mainly because ownership rights in these countries or these economies are often annunciated. Okay, and people do not have any strong incentive to see that long run productivity is maintained. So that's all for Coase theorem. I hope you could understand the Coase theorem, how property rights are distributed among different entities in the market or different entities in the economy, and how there would be some kind of bargaining and somehow there should be some kind of efficiency going on. So with that we end here. Please like, share and subscribe to this channel for more videos. And I welcome you to my Telegram group and Telegram channel to discuss your doubts. Thank you.